Morning, folks. Afternoon, evening, however you're watching this or wherever you're watching this. How is everybody doing? I hope you're all having a lovely day. And the week's been pretty kind to you so far. Not a massive amount of news. So we're going to do a kind of our Friday live streamy thing with this as well. So I will look at chat a little bit as well today. But we'll just start off and we'll get through some bits of news. We've got a couple of rumors floating around. There'll be some pinch of salt stuff today. But we're going to talk about midfielders coming in, players leaving, updates on people, and new players linked with Leeds, as well as a quick look ahead to the Aston Villa game tonight. If you're going to the game tonight, be safe, mind yourself on the travels, enjoy yourself. If you're staying home watching it on TV, get a nice glass of wine or a nice pint of lager or something just to settle your nerves for the game. I will be avoiding it for most of the night because my brother's a Villa fan, so I'll be staying away from it. Let's have a quick chat and let's get into this. Start off with George Hall. According to Team Talk, Leeds are working on a deal to bring in the Birmingham City youngster. Leeds have been linked with George Hall for about a year now at this stage, along with multiple clubs. It looked like a deal could have been done at the very early stage of the transfer window, only for multiple clubs got interested in the player, and it seemed to go a bit quiet. I still don't think George Hall is the player Leeds will be looking into replacement. Mateus Clicky has been linked at as a potential replacement for Click. This does come from Team Talk, and after yesterday's catastrophe, anything that comes from Team Talk will now have a massive pinch of salt label beside it. The QSI one yesterday, which we edited the video yesterday to remove it from the video after the retraction, but did go out yesterday morning. So yeah, if you watched the video yesterday morning, you saw the stuff about QSI. It was taken down by the evening, but Team Talk apologized. But so Team Talk are also saying that Leeds are making a move for George Hall, but you'll find that tough to believe now. And it will make credibility for those guys going forward a bit trickier. Leo Hjelde, news came out last night. Leo Hjelde has moved on to Championship side Rotherham on loan. We did talk about this earlier in the week and said it was a likely thing to happen. It's a good move for him. He's 19 years of age. He'll expect game time down there. It'll be good competitive game time in the Championship as well. So it's better than sitting on the bench for the first team or playing a handful of minutes for the 21 side in the second tier of the 21 league. So it's a good one for him to get into. We'll have a quick look at the chat then, see who's plenty of people here. Good morning and everyone. Hello, good morning and everything to everyone. Any update on the Georginio Rutter deal? Not much. All that's come out this morning is from Fabrizio Romano, who has said that the medical and contract signing will happen today. He said statements will follow. The deal is complete. He said £28 million up front with add-ons that will bring it up to £40 million at some point, which is a big deal for a young lad at 20 years of age, but an exciting player and is tipped by a lot of people to be a big star. So we will have to wait and see. Yeah, Leeds will have a 5 p.m. announcement. There's a game tonight as well, so we'll have to wait and see. Any other questions there? Let's get to these two. Then call up live. Fofana and Ounahi. So let's get into this. No update on Fofana today. There was yesterday a slight update. It's in the Leeds of the front runners for Seko Fofana. As far as Azzedine Ounahi is concerned, according to 90 minutes, and again, so take that with a pinch of salt, they're saying that there are multiple clubs interested in Ounahi. AC Milan, Napoli, and Leicester City are also said to be interested in it. Leeds are said to be the front runners in terms of offering the most amount of money up front. Leeds have offered over 20 million. They say in the region of 25 million euro. It's about 19 million pounds, 20 million pounds. You look at that then as well, and you look at AC Milan and Napoli, a rumour to have offered in and around 15 million pounds. We're in the CDK bracket. We're in the summer where, there's clubs in local or more local that he wants to move to who are offering less money than Leeds, but we'll have to wait and see. Angers or Angers, however, someone will correct me on my French pronunciations. I didn't do French in school, so someone will correct me on French pronunciation. Angers or Angers want a deal where they can actually get the midfielder back on loan for the remainder of the season. I think that rules Leeds out of the equation completely because Leeds need a midfielder to replace Click now. Bringing a player in that's going to be sent straight back to Angers or Angers or whatever it's called. It will cause Leeds problems. Leeds apparently has said, though, to have offered the player a contract in the region of £2.5 million per year. So a nice chunky deal. What's interesting in this, and if you listen to Phil Hayes' podcast, the first one of the week, earlier on this week, he said from talking to Victor Orta or from getting information from Victor Orta, he wasn't the player Leeds were super hot on because what we saw in the World Cup is not the dynamism he shows week to week playing in France. So it's that Leeds weren't interested in whether it's a smokescreen for Fofana or somebody else. We have to wait and see. A player that has been linked though from midfield, and this comes from Daily Mail and has been substantiated by Ben Jacobs as well. What I will say about Ben Jacobs, he was the first person yesterday to come out and say that the QSI rumor was nonsense. So more credibility for Ben Jacobs in the bank. He has said that Leeds are now looking at Bristol City midfielder Alex Scott. Now, this is interesting because Leeds did look at Alex Scott earlier in the season, as did a couple of others. Jacobs has been told there's a realistic possibility of Scott moving in this window. However, earlier in January, it was rumored that Bristol City would accept anything up to a £12 million bid for the player to move. It is now changed. Wolves, Leicester, Brighton, and Spurs are all tracking the midfielder as well. And according to Ben Jacobs, Bristol City now want a deal in the region of £25 million. Now, there's no doubt that people reckon Alex Scott will get to a point in his career where he's worth 25 million, but is he worth that right now is a big question playing a championship for Bristol City. It would be a big gamble for Leeds to spend that amount of money on a midfielder who isn't proven at even the top level in his country. I know we're spending a huge amount of money on Rutter, but he has got some caliber in his local divisions. I'm a quick look through anything interesting. We're good. Any news on who's funding these deals? We have no idea. You can guess. But don't know. Someone's funding it, and as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter. Big Badger, he doesn't want to come to Leeds. Again, be careful with that statement because that was made about CDK as well. That's not what the players have said. They have said they have a preference elsewhere. Now, you think about it, his preference is Napoli, who are top of Serie A Champions League football. That's why his preference is there. It's not saying I don't want to come to Leeds. It's just his personal preference. Whether that deal gets done or not, I don't know. So no idea on who's funding these deals, but you can put two and two together and get four lads, can't you? You can. Good. All right then. Let's move on. Let's have a quick chat about Aston Villa versus Leeds tonight. And let's go through the players' availability. So for Leeds, no Sinisterra, no Somerville, both out for a bit longer. Somerville out for the month with the injury picked up against Cardiff, and Sinisterra likely to be back in training with Leeds this week, the team this week, and then hopefully for 4 weeks training behind him next week. Pat Bamford is fit, which is great to see. Fingers crossed they just get him to the game without breaking a nail or something, but fingers crossed he gets there. And Georginio Rutter not cleared, even if he does sign today, he won't be cleared till next week, so he won't be part of the team. Michael Brown, glad he's keeping their cards close to their chest. Yeah, they should do. We made ourselves look pretty bad in the summer by talking too loudly, so keep them quiet, go get your deals done. No hassle. Moving on to Aston Villa, then let's talk about the players that they're missing for the game. John McGinn apparently is out of the game, as is Matty Cash. Ludwig Augustinsson looks like he will miss the game as well. He's a late check. And their new signing from Real Betis left back, Alex Moreno, they are waiting to find out on clearance whether the player is cleared to play tonight or not. It's an interesting one for me. If I was Leeds, I would be concerned about wide areas with Aston Villa. Emery's teams tend to play with nice bits of width as well. They've got some good players. Buendia will cause us problems out wide. If Leeds can keep the wide issues at bay, which has been our biggest problem this season, conceding goals from pullbacks from wide areas or from ball switch to wide areas. So it's going to be interesting to keep an eye on that one. Counterattacks are going to be a big one for us to keep an eye on as well. I think if Leeds can get out of the gate early, get a goal, and then just settle early into the game, just relax a bit, I think we should be okay. But it's going to be an interesting one tonight. While we're live, I'll have a quick check to see if there's any update on Georginio Rutter, although I would fully expect this very much to be a 5 p.m. signing. As I said before, Leeds love an L 5 p.m. right before the game announcement as well. There's nothing. No updates. So it's all done and dusted. Just waiting for the announcement at this stage. And it doesn't matter when he gets announced today. It's not going to make him a Leeds player any sooner. So that's pretty much it, folks. So that's it for the week. I won't be back tomorrow. I won't be back on Sunday. I'll be back here on Monday morning with some more Leeds news. Enjoy the game tonight. I hope you all have a great time. And if you want the prediction, and I got my one right last week, I won't get cocky. I'm torn between a 2-2 draw again, because I think both teams can score goals, and a 2-1 win for Leeds. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Leeds. I think we might just nick this one. Still early in Emery's time, so I think there's still an opportunity to catch the old Aston Villa form. So fingers crossed, because if it's not, my brother will let me hear the end of it. So that's it, folks. Thanks again. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the match tonight. Best luck to Leeds, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye.